Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. So before we start, our tradition, what do we say, call it, setting motivation. Whatever you do, if we start with a good motivation, then our action becomes more positive. So what would be setting motivation? Of course, His Holiness the Dalai Lama always talks about two things, like Buddhism is based on two motivations. One, not to harm other, and two, do good for other. So that's one of the main thing. So not harming, that's definitely very important. And then do good for other beings. So that's in one hand what we call that bodhisattva way of practicing Dharma. So when we talk about setting motivation, definitely these two would be our main thing should be in our heart. So we are here for something, right? To listening or participating something, learn something, or meditate. Why are we doing it? That's what the question is all about, right? Why am I here? And here, if we are wise, then definitely our motivation would be a very important one. And then sometimes if we're careless, then our motivation can be just ordinary or nothing special. So let's say why we are here. So one thing in Tibetan Buddhist tradition is, I want to be an enlightened being, enlightened master. And then answer is, for what? And the second is, for the benefit of all sentient being. If I want to do something good for others, I have to be healthy, I have to be mentally healthy, physically healthy, and I have to be expert in helping others. So I need to be an enlightened master. Not for my own thing, but to help other beings. So for the benefit of other beings, all sentient beings, I want to be an enlightened master. I want to be Buddha. I want to be, someone who is free from all the problems and possessed with all the good quality. So for that, I am here today. That's what our motivation should be. So please join with me with setting this motivation. And definitely this motivation is possible if we have compassion for others, love for others. So let's say we have a compassion towards all beings, and then to free them from the problem, suffering, and bring great happiness for them, I want to be an expert, enlightened master. And for that, I am here to meditate, I am here to study, learn something more, I am here to improve my inner qualities. So please set this motivation, and I will chant. So join me with this setting motivation, and then we will sit for a meditation, silence meditation, followed by the setting motivation. And whatever the meditation you use to practice, maybe you can go on with that. Like there are multiple, sometimes we meditate on our breathing. Sometimes we meditate with some object that we select. Sometimes we look at our consciousness, our mind. So whatever the meditation you usually practice, you can just go on with this. So we will do a meditation as well.
Sanje Jonde Meja Washaja Dobala Chazelo Jadoja Boy Jonde Nisha Shaboda Jamba Yando Zobe Sanje Reboda Shazot the Washaboji Deja Boy Jevo Duve Jobola Noime Anoimi Nojendo Bozanje Jonde Meja Washaja Dobala Chazelo Jadoja Senjo Dambo de Medo Veje, Zendo Dawa Jela Joy, Tendo Juda Ziba Zuma Je, Nyame Jen Jela Joy, Kumbondo Jeje de Boy, No Jeje Boy de Bobo, Zeno Yede Jela. Deje Jela Joy, Zelo Dambe de Jode Wanje, Jewe Mezo Ledo. Jendo Dona Jojo Boy, Jijo Jola Joy, Tenendo Vela Yande, I love Dola Randone, Shinja Damba Yende, I Jende Laya Joy, Yamaji Yami Jaji, I Jawa Bazo Zoboy, Ranje Zende Yonze, and Dine Zanje Nearby. Amara de Marmeda, Juma Zemo, Jumona, Mila Loda Dida, Dijana Dendrada, Zanandia, Donjazeboy, Commando Nenya, Dania, Ingada, Nada, Jivelado, Sibedo, Wado, Wara, Joy. Sanje Dodo Jejo Noi Loi Jojo Bodo Danye Jojo Danye Jezo Jebe Do Noi Die Do Loi Benje Sanje Dobrai Sanje Jedo Zonye Jono Loi Jojo Bodo Danye Jojo Danye Jezo Jebe Do Noi Die Dolai Benje Zanje Domara Joy Zanje Jeda Zonje Jonaila Janjo Bardo Danye Jazonje Danye Jizonje Bezonai Dolai Benje Zanje Domara Joy Zoje Benje Jose Mendoida Zero Liji Nide Jumbo Dio Zanje Jindo Mit Pua Ye Dongwe Nanda Jelo Jabrajo Indo Ngoro Deno Mende Longo Neya Doya Mio Imraza Jeme Shera Bodo Jio Imanje Mingoina Muo Neo Zozo Ranre Yishe Joyowa Isojo Yon Loi Jo In Zio In Loi Yo Dong Ngone Barangone 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 Zoi Jire Do Dai Jijo Shi Wai Dai Mi De Ne Be Je Dai De Wat Tembo De Je Bu So So Jo Je Ta Xie Di Jo De 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 Le Zhui
Thank you. Today, I want to talk on what we call Namdak Dun, 7 perfections, which starts with taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Number 1 is taking refuge. Number 2 is purification. Number 3, rejoice. And number 4 is a bodhicitta. So 4, 5, 6 is a bodhicitta, but bodhicitta is 3 different kinds. One is ultimate bodhicitta, and then second was aspirational, mind of enlightenment, and then third was is engagement, because you have a good motivation, but if you do not engage into activity, then that's not really effective. So that's the third one. And then, 3 bodhicittas. So refuge, purification, rejoice, and then 3 bodhicittas, and then 7th one is a dedication. So this is the 7. So now from the 7, the first one is a refuge, and that's one of the most important part of the Buddhist practice. That's actually it is called gateway to Buddhism. If you do not have refuge, then you can be practicing, studying Buddhism for all your age, entire your life, but you are still not inside the Buddhist category, really. So, refuge, taking refuge. And this one, in one hand, it's when we recite this in Sanskrit, it's called Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. And I think Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. And then in Pali, it's a Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. And then in Tibetan Buddhism, you will find 2 more. It's called taking refuge, going refuge, the Guru, and then meditational deity. Of course, that's because of the Vajrayana school. And then, in one hand, in the part of the Vajrayana, it is said that, looking at Guru as a Buddha is very important. If you cannot see your Guru as a Buddha, then you cannot see Buddha into any other beings. Like, we respect our Guru, Master the most. So if you cannot practice the practice of seeing Buddha in someone, and especially in one's Guru, then it's very difficult to see Buddha in other beings. So that's one of the main reasons, seeing Buddha in one's master, that's emphasized. Anyway, the main thing, but still, when we talk about three Ratna, triple gem, then Guru and meditational deity is included in Buddha. So it's not separate from Buddha. So they are still Buddha. So we'll talk a little bit on this. So when we talk about refuge, as I said earlier, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Gacha, the word gacha means go, right? So I go refuge in Buddha, I go refuge in Dharma, I go refuge in Sangha. This is really indicates a unique idea of Buddhism. When we take refuge in Buddha, we are not looking at Buddha as a third person over there. Then you're just requesting for something. We are talking about, I want to become like you, so I'm going. I want to go, the word go. This shows a special meaning that I want to become Buddha. So I go to, achieve the Dharma in myself. I go to refuge the Sangha in myself. So Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, when we talk about refuge, it's not we are requesting to some third person, please help me. We are, in one hand, of course, we have when we talk about the refuge of the past and refuge of the future, or the cause and effect, the result and the cause. Now, the Buddha of the cause Buddha is like Buddha Shakyamuni. It can be your guru or like any other great guru, Buddha. And when we talk about the resultant Buddha, that's a future you. We are talking about future you. You know, you have a wisdom, you have a compassion, but when you reach to the highest state of that, your practice, you become Buddha. So that's the word go. That means I'm not just taking, but I want to go to become Buddha. So when we talk about refuge, two things. One, of course, you can say, I go refuge to Buddha Shakyamuni, that's fine. But main refuge is your future Buddha, the one that you are going to become at the end. So that's where you need to, that's what we need to achieve in ourselves. So we need to move towards that as a goal. And then when you achieve that Buddha, you are completely saved. And your refuge brings the final result. When you achieve the Dharma within yourself, that's where you really got free from the suffering and free from the pains, right? And when you achieve the Sangha in yourself, Sangha means we talk about 5 paths. Path of seeing, path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, path of no more learning. So when you reach the 3rd stage, path of seeing, then you are freed from lots of worldly problems. You are not Buddha yet, but you will be born according to your wish after that stage. So that's why you are saved from lots of the sufferings of life and samsara. That's why from that stage you are real Sangha as well. You know, when we talk about the Sangha, we talk about 2 things. 1, the spiritual community, and then 2, you reach to that state. You are among the 3 jewels, the Sangha, when you achieve the path of seeing. Till that, you have not achieved the Sangha quality completely, but with a group of, 4 other, usually monk, if there are 4 groups, then we call Sangha. Anyway, that's one main thing. So we want to become enlightened. We want to become Sangha. We want to achieve Dharma in ourselves. So our consciousness become Dharma at a certain stage. So taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. But what are the important requirements? Then in general, you said 2 causes. Fear from the samsara, and then belief, a faith or belief based on the understanding that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha can save me. That believing that they are the final savior. They can save me from samsaric problems or the problems of life. They are the ultimate savior. So that belief is the one cause. And then second cause. First cause is fear from suffering, samsaric problems, right? So those are 2 causes. But in Mahayana, we add one more cause. It's called compassion. Compassion towards all other beings. That's the 3rd cause to become Mahayanist. If you really want to become Mahayana Buddhist, then we need one more cause. That's a compassion towards all other beings. So with these 3 causes, now we can take refuge. taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I go refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Now, one thing that I want to share here as Acharya Dipankar, he talks about the practitioner can be of three capacities. That depends on what you are seeking your refuge for. If your fear is not samsara but lower realm, I don't want to born to hell realm or hunger ghost realm or animal realm. If your fear is only for that, then you become the person of least capacity or lowest capacity. And then if your fear is entire samsara, I don't want to be in samsara, not even in human, not even in deva realm, because as far as I am in samsara, I will have a problem. So I want to free from that. Then it's called middle scope, person of middle scope. And then again, when you free from the samsara, the Mahayana thinks something more important is like, once you free from samsara, you can be in that cessation from the samsaric problems, meditating there for thousands and millions and billions of years. So Mahayana thinks that's kind of wasting time. Be there will just waste your time. You are not doing anything good for others. You are enjoying your freedom, but still that's not enough because you need to do something for others as well, good for others. So even that one, like dissolve into that cessation, like lost in this cessation is also like Mahayanas think that that's another problem. So we need to stay away from that. Like achieving arhathood is not enough. I need to go and do welfare work of the all sentient being. So fear from that is third fear. Then you become the person of the highest scope, capacity. So that's why Acharya Dipankar emphasized that in his book. Anyway, that's the three things. Now, when we talk about taking refuge, one thing is like, with the fear and with the belief, I really want to go refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That needs to be quite kind of well motivated or strong intention, right? Sometimes, we just say from mouth, pretending like that, but not from deep heart. Then there's a little problem. We have a story of saying, Ama Kyamdro Kachangma, like a lady, mother, who was doing that, like, usually, we talk about some part of Tibet. They are very sweet mouth. They can speak very well, but, not necessarily very good. Not saying that they are bad, but they are very good with like saying very good things. So there was a lady, and then she had young daughter, two of them, and they had a guru who was a tantric master. So he always like talked to him saying that you are my Buddha, you are my Dharma, whatever. Please, save me from samsara. Please save me from all kind of problems. She was always like doing that. But she didn't do it from heart, maybe. One day, her master was traveling and then he got stuck because of a snowfall. So he said that I will have to stop at your place. Can you host? Give me a place to stay. And she said, of course, you are my master, you are my Buddha, you are my everything. Why not? Please be here. And then the snow continued, right? And this man had to stay, his master had to stay at her place for quite long time. And then she had so many work to do. She had small garden that needs to like remove the grass and water and the things. But she had like doubt in her that maybe in my absence, he might steal some of my belongings. And then she put her daughter on duty. Okay, you stay here, watch this man. I'm going to go and just do some work in my farm, like the garden. And the girl really want to go with mother. No, mom, I want to go with you. And she said, no, stay here, stay here. And then she was pretending like, she's just staying there, the mother. But actually, she put her on duty to watch her own master. And she waited there, and then she was just watching the man, and then she wanted to go to her mother. And then after a while, she got tired, and she said, Mom, I'm coming. And she said, stay there, don't come. Mother said that, right? And then the girl kept kind of like waited a little more and few more hours. And then she finally got tired, and she said, Mom, I'm coming now. Doesn't seem like this man is going to steal anything from here. But this man was staying just next to her. So we need to be very honest when we take refuge. We shouldn't be like this mother. She was kind of always saying like, you are my Buddha, I take refuge in you, right? But she had doubt that this man might steal my belongings. So that means, she didn't have that kind of like belief or the trust. So we need to have that trust is a stable trust. And then, of course, the fear. So with this, we can generate our compassion, refuge. Now, when we talk about the Buddha as a refuge, why do we select Buddha as a refuge? Here, you find 4 reasons here. Number 1, Buddha is someone who is free from the suffering. Right? You need the help of someone who is free from the problem, right? If you have someone that's, in the same trouble, you got stuck in problem, like let's say there's a flood that is kind of like washing you down, and there's another man just with you, he cannot really save you. You need someone who is free from that problem. That's number 1. Someone who is already free from the problem, that can save you from the problem, right? That's number 1. We talk 4 reasons why Buddha is our, and then second, he is expert in saving, right? If you are drowning in a pond or a swimming pool, and then Savior doesn't know how to swim, if that person jump into water to save you, instead of saving you, he might drown too, right? So that needs to be an expert. That's number 2. And quality number 3 is compassion, equal compassion, right? There shouldn't be like, compassion. He has a compassion for you, but not to her, but not to him. If the person has that differentiating kind of thing in his heart, then that's not a good one to take refuge in. Because who knows, he might ignore you because his compassion is not equal. It's Buddha has equal compassion to every being. And then third, Buddha has a compassion, and pantak matak doesn't look for whether someone does good for me or not, That's another cause, another quality. It's not like Buddha will just say, if you are drowning and you are asking for help, someone, and if the person says, "Are you going to pay for this?" then we're in trouble, right? If he thinks that, okay, what am I going to get in return? Then that's a problem. So Buddha doesn't look at that. So that's why Buddha is the refuge, object of the refuge. That's why we call, when we talk about enlightened being, or to whom we want to take refuge, that means that being has to have this 4 quality, right? Then we can definitely go refuge in him. That's what another most important part. Now with this, we take refuge in Buddha, right? Then that's one of, when we take refuge in Buddha, from that step onward, you are pure Buddhist, right? And then what else? Then what are the other things? It says like to become enlightened person, we may have some negative things there or some mistakes that needs to be purified. If we have there, then that needs to be purified. That's why the second part comes to purification. And third, if we want to do something good, like if you plant a flower or tree, you need manure or water or sunlight, that kind of give energy or facility to grow the plant or flower or fruit, whatever. So we need a strong merit, positive energy. So how can we do it? The easiest one is to rejoicing others' good karma. If someone is doing good, you just rejoice that person. Oh, what a nice person he is doing. What a nice person she is doing. I rejoice. Then it says that you will get equal quantity of merit by rejoicing. Do we have time? So rejoice is number three, and then ultimate bodhicitta and aspiring bodhicitta to become enlightened, and then engaging bodhicitta, that's the third. Then dedication. What is dedication? For the benefit of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. May whatever the good karma I committed, they become the cause that I will become enlightened one for the benefit of all sentient beings. That's what we called 7 perfect practice. So easiest way to accumulate good positive energy and then purify the negative energy, and then first take refuge, purify, and then rejoice. Then 3 bodhicittas. Bodhicitta means mind for enlightenment, mind of enlightenment. So those are the things I want to share. Maybe, do we have time? That's 2 minutes.
About 7:45, so maybe 5 minutes and then a break.
Let me share a story. When Buddha was born, there were 4 princes born together in India. And when Buddha was born, there was some special thing happening that like huge light, like day was more brighter and more calm and more peace. And then all those 4 kings who had this princess born on that day, that's because of my son. That's why this happened. So they give a special name to their kids, their princes, right? And so among the 4, one is Prasanjit, who is from the northern India. And then one is Buddha from Lumbini. He was born in Lumbini. But little southwest of the Lumbini is what called Kosala. And there was a king, his name is Prasanjit, the prince who was born there. Prasanjit means the someone, Selje. Sel means bright. Someone who bring the light on earth. That's what the king named him. So that's his name. And when he grew up, he became follower of Buddha. They were of same age. They were born in same day. Anyway, once he requested Buddha that I want to make an offering to the Sangha. And Buddha said, of course. They fixed the time, and then Buddha went with Sanghas, and he made a grand offering to the Sanghas, and then Buddha gave teaching. And when he was giving the grand offering, there was a beggar. His name was Punya, someone always in the meritorious act. So he was at the gate, just begging food, and then he was sitting there and just kind of rejoicing. That's what I'm sharing the story of. He rejoiced for what the great thing king is doing. King is making grand offering. What the great thing Buddha is doing, he's teaching. And what the great thing all those Sangha, monks are doing, receiving, learning more things. And what the great things the all other lay people are giving their service. And he was just from the beginning to end rejoicing, rejoicing, rejoicing. And there was a tradition. Whenever Buddha kind of do something, and at the end he make dedication. And then he look among the people and who accumulate the largest amount of the merit, he will name that person and then make dedication. So first day, instead of taking the name of the king, Buddha take the name of the beggar. The beggar, Gyewa, and all the merits may all become enlightenment, something like that. And then king was little embarrassed, but he couldn't argue to Buddha because he respected Buddha. Well, he did something good, that's why he named Buddha. And then second day, same thing, third day was same thing, fourth day was same thing. And he went up to 60th day. And then the 7th day was the last day. And the king was kind of embarrassed among the people. Now people will say, oh, maybe king was not pure-hearted. Why his name is not coming in the Buddha's dedication? Maybe he was not doing good. So he was really embarrassed. And then finally, after the 60th day, just after Buddha left, he called all his courtiers and said, we need to do something. If Buddha didn't call my name tomorrow for dedication, I will be shamed among my subjects and entire sanghas. It will be very shameful for me. And then one of his ministers said, oh, I have some idea, I can do it. And then, okay. And next day, when Buddha came, and then all the gathering starts, and then like teachings and the offering, whatever, this minister went to the gate. And then he was with a stick. He did nothing. I mean, like he was just sitting there, and just suddenly he started poking that beggar. He just poked the beggar, and then beggar was saying, why is he doing to me? I'm just practicing my dharma, nothing. Why is he doing it? And then he will just started rejoicing again, and then he poked again. And he was kind of disturbing this beggar actually, right? And that day the beggar couldn't do the rejoice. And then finally on that day, Buddha called the name of the king. The king Prasanjit and all the others married, I dedicate for this. So you know the moral of the story? He was accumulating more merit than Buddha. King. Whereas the king was spending lots of money and making all arrangement. He is the one requested to Buddha. He is the one invited all the Sangha. He is the one who put all the service. He is like the main person who did everything. But the beggar who was sitting at the gate was rejoicing, and he was accumulating more karma than the king. That's why rejoice is emphasized in this practice. So if you do the rejoice, sometimes you can be asleep. And Lama Tsongkhapa said, if you don't want to do very hard work, but want to commit good karma, then go for rejoice. rejoicing other, right? Easiest way to do the Dharma, practice the Dharma. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll have a break, and then maybe afterwards we will do some chantings and practice. Thank you so much. Good evening again. So in this, I want to lead you with some of the chanting. Actually, in general, we call it like mantra of blessing. It's very simple. Om, Ah, Hum. Can you repeat? Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Okay. So this will be the chanting that we will chant. And then with visualization. So first we want to know what this mantra is. But when it comes to one thing, that when it comes to highest yoga tantra and Vajrayana school, it's called mantra, a Vajra mantra, like most important mantra. So that is there. Anyway, when we talk about purification, yes, blessing, when we talk about blessing, we talk about three things, right? In Buddhism, whenever we engage ourselves into any kind of activity, we could talk about three doors, either through body or either through our speech, either through our mind, right? Body, speech, and mind. These three things are very important in Buddhism. Buddhist practitioners, if we are not blessed with our body, if our body is not blessed, if our mind is not blessed, if our speech is not blessed, then we cannot be the blessed one, right? Same thing, if our body is not pure, and if our mind is not pure, if our speech is not pure, if one of those are not pure, then we are not pure. The person will be called as a blessed one or pure one based on his body, speech, and mind, or her body, speech, and mind. So whenever we talk about the blessing or purification, then you will definitely, the practice will come to purifying body, purifying speech, purifying mind, or blessing our body, blessing our speech, blessing our mind. I was in New York last week and they asked that you are talking lots about the speech. Why you are talking? But in the West, he said, we talk about body, mind, and spirit, not the speech. So anyway, why the speech is like, when said, he did something to me, or she did something to me, she did this. That's whenever we do something, we do either from these three doors, from body, through our speech, or through our mind. Otherwise, we cannot do anything. So that's why when we talk about the blessing, we need to bless our body, we need to bless our speech, we need to bless our mind. That's why this three comes to Om Ahum for the blessing. So why is this three mantras, letters choose as the mantra for blessing? And that's kind of one thing that symbolizes the body, speech, and mind. Om symbolizes body, Ah symbolizes speech, Hum symbolizes the mind. Om, now you can think of like O-M, Om, Ah, A-H, Ah, and Hum, H-U-M, Hum, Om, Ah, Hum. So these three letters are the mantras that you can think of it. And then when we talk about blessing. In the process of the blessing in Vajrayana tradition, we have three things. One, first, purifies the thing, and then two, transform it into nectar or greatest quality, and then third, expand it into like limitless, right? When we educate ourselves, we want to learn more and more and more, like increase our knowledge, something like that. So whatever the good quality, we kind of like increase it into like the abundance or greatest quantity. So that's three things. And here, hum, but when you visualize this blessing, first is the hum that purifies. Okay, hum purifies all the ordinary things, like removes all the ordinary quality or negativities, right? And then second one, transform it into nectar. That's what we call it, nectar. And what is the nectar? In Vajrayana, nectars are explained. Nectar is explained from three qualities. One, nectar, that's like a medicine that heals our sicknesses. Okay? And then nectar, two, is a nectar, that's what we call, in Sanskrit called amrit, that like make you immortal or mortal? Immortal, never die, right? So kind of expands your life as long as possible, right? So it makes you immortal. That's the number two. And number three, that's what we call uncontaminated phenomena, sakme. The nature of uncontaminated phenomena. That's a little difficult to understand, but in other hand, we can say like the thing of higher dimension phenomena of higher dimension. Like I used to give like example, like food, right? Like food, we talk about food. And we have dog food, we have animals food, and we have human food. All are food. But dog food, when you buy from market, you buy the best one, most expensive one. That's the best dog food. And that's well qualified for dog, but that's not good for human, right? For human, you kind of like needs to be higher quality, right? So like that. The dog food is it can be the best dog food, the most expensive one, but still that's a dog food. Like it's kind of like little low quality. I'm not saying like, dogs are bad and anything, okay? So we have this mentality, that quality and then human food quality, right? There's difference, right? Now you imagine, do you think our food, that best food we use, is well qualified for angels? No, right? Theirs is like higher dimension. And especially of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, especially Buddhas, they have a completely different quality food. So that's called like uncontaminated phenomena kind of thing, like we call sakme. So when we talk about nectar, that's on a third quality of nectar. It's like, as I give an example, human food is good for human, but it's not good for angels, right? Heavenly beings. For them, it's almost like someone serve you like dog food if we give them our food. So why there is a quality differences, different dimension kind of thing. So that's what we call the sakme. So that's the one, whenever you make offering and then visualizing the making offering, you should always visualize that, okay, Om Ahum, blessed it into the nectar and then the uncontaminated phenomena. Okay, this is much better than the humanly food. This is like angelic food, food for the angels, right? Their quality food. So if we make offering like that, then that will definitely make a difference. That's really blessing. When we make offering, Om Ahum, we recite the mantra and transform that food into that higher dimensional food. And then we can offer to Buddha or enlightened being. If you don't do it, then it will be like, you are trying to, someone is serving dog food to you. So that's like, just for example. And that's very possible. I'm talking about the food. And there's another thing, when I was on tour, one of our drivers, Larry, we were just, I think that was somewhere above New York, we were driving down, and we saw a deer killed on the road, and then all the Lama went, oh, Ningje, that's what we call, said, compassion, mercy, and then started praying, the monks. And then driver was driving then, and I was sitting next to him, and he said, he's being stupid. I said, you cannot say this. Why are you saying that? And he said, yeah, actually, he said, I don't know how truth that was. He said, the modern car has a device in it that creates a very high-pitched sound that irritates the animals. And that kind of chase them away from highways. So when you have lots of cars running on the road, there will be lots of cars that with this device in it that creates a high pitch that irritates the animals. They can hear that very well. So they get irritated and they run away. And then this deer decided to still kind of stubbornly may have come to the road and he got hit. So he was explaining that way. Anyway, is that true? That happens? I don't know. And I think anyway, if that is happening, like maybe the animals can hear the higher pitch than the humans. And if that sound is created in this house, we will not be able to hear it. But the animal can hear, or there's some other. See, like that's the same sound, but our ear is not qualified enough or not designed to hear that, right? Detect that sound. So this happens with the different forms of the existence, like sound or food or whatever form. There are things that we can see, but others cannot see. But there are other things that we cannot see, but some other beings can see. Right? So something like that. And then food, same thing. The quality of the food, which is very good for us, if we give it to the angels, they will just throw it away. If they were forced to put in their mouth, they will say, that's very untasty food, bad food. So anyway, so this is when we do the blessings, if we can keep that in mind, Om Ahum. Hum purifies everything, Ah turns into nectar or uncontaminated phenomena, Hum expand it into like fill the entire universe. That's what, we do the blessing. Same thing, bless our mind, bless our speech, bless our body, okay? So when we do this, visualize this Om Ahum in the space, and you visualize Om on your crown, inside the skull, okay? Crown chakra, and throat chakra, and then heart chakra. If you want to really find where is your crown chakra, in the book, it says that, you put string from the tip of your nose, from right to left, just put all the way down here. And then you put one here, and then put from the center, and then go all the way down. Where that meets, the true string, that's what the crown chakra is. That's mentioned in holy scriptures. So I just wanted to. So you visualize Om inside the skull, but there's one crown chakra and throat chakra, and then heart chakra, Om Ahum. And then when we recite the mantra, you visualize that all the quality of body quality of the Buddha, speech quality of the Buddhas, enlightened beings, and mind quality of the Buddhas, they all come and dissolve into this mantra, Om Ahum, and they come and dissolve into one's Om Ahum, and then transform ourselves. And then when we reach the ultimate quality of Om Ahum, then we are enlightened. According to Vajrayana, if you reach to this pure body, pure speech, and pure mind, you are enlightened. So we will practice that, you can be enlightened now. Even if no, you just visualize you are enlightened now, okay? This is very helpful. When I was going through some difficulties, I was doing this, what we call deity yoga, when we visualize ourselves as like in the heavenly realm, and that was kind of very helpful. So we can do that, like I am with the pure body, pure speech, and pure mind. That the lights, Om, white color, and then Ah, red color, Hum, dark blue color, like billions coming from all direction, coming from all the Buddhas, and dissolve into this Om Ahum, and then it comes in a replica form, comes and dissolve into you, and then when you recite, you visualize your body is purified, your speech is purified, your mind is purified. Okay? So we will do this when we recite. So you can chant, please chant with me. Okay? So you visualize that and then comes into yourself and then bless to yourself. Okay, one more thing. You do this, bless yourself, and then you send the replica from yourself, okay? And then bless all other beings. Do the same thing. And then you repeat it again. Okay, not like, sometimes we just do the one process and just, now what? And then you start with the beginning to the end. Like all the Buddhas, body, speech, and mind come in the form of Om Ahum and then dissolve in you, bless to you, and then you send the blessing to others and all the bless you, and then you kind of satisfied. And then repeat again. That process, repeat again and again. we will chant a little more, but this time you kind of visualize that you are communicating to all the enlightened beings. Those are in the 10 directions. And they all are talking to you, communicating with you, and then telling you, my dear son, my dear daughter, you have done great. We didn't just bless ourselves, we bless other beings as well. That was our compassionate service we did. So all Buddhas of the 10 directions, they are pleased with our work. And then they kind of affirming you that, my dear son, my dear daughter, you are completely blessed now. You have no problem with your body, you have no problem with your speech and mind. And those are completely blessed, and now you have quality of the body, speech, and mind that's equal to Buddhas, enlightened beings. And then we will sit for meditation with joy, satisfaction, contentment, and joy, with no attachment, or in the state of detachment or natural awareness. We will do the silence meditation afterwards, but we will recite a few times, and this time the mantra is the sound, the communication from the Buddhas, okay? Thank you. Do we have time?
Thank you very much, Lama Tashi Log, for sharing your chanting, your knowledge, your wisdom.
Thank you.
It is 8:30, so we understand if you need to go, but we did want to offer just a couple of minutes if there is a question or two. If you would like to ask a question, unfortunately, we're on a wired mic, so if you don't mind coming up here, and I can hand you the mic. And on Zoom, you can raise your virtual hand. Yes, Jim?
So I was wondering about advice for using your recordings. I got the recording package online on my computer, and I'd like thoughts about how I might go about making use of the recordings of the chants.
Yes, a question about how to make use of the recording of the chants.
Yeah, main thing is like if you can visualize for yourself, if you visualize, and then same thing like as we did the visualization, blessing ourselves, and then we send our compassion, light outside to the all sentient being, bless them with our compassionate motivation. So that's one of the practice. That's what we are doing at the mental level. And then, of course, if you chant, you are doing at the speech level as well. And then definitely for both, you will have to use your physical energy as well. So that's again, you are doing it your body as well. So it's already you are doing so many good things there.
Perhaps we're left speechless.
Okay. Okay.
Any last minute questions? Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And as a reminder,
Dedication.
oh goodness, what kind of Buddhist am I?
Okay, I will chant. So please, one, for the benefit of all sentient beings, we want to be enlightened master. That's main thing. Out of compassion, we want that. And then a second thing, we want to pray for all the great beings who are living, they should live long. And then third, like natural disasters, pandemics should not happen on earth. And then one of the worst, most painful thing happening is the war. Unfortunately, it's going on right now in the Middle East. And there was a Ukraine war, Ukraine and Russia war, and now another war's just going on, really upsetting. So those are kind of like additional problems that the world is facing. So please pray, number one, that the wars kind of goes away. May the peace and prevails comes in the heart of those leaders, and then the world leaders work together to bring peace. And then those who lost their life, who get injured, pray for them as well. So it's really, really very difficult things that's going on that we can see now. So please dedicate for this. Whatever the good quality merits we committed, may this bring peace in those areas where the wars are happening. And then may not like the pandemic we just noticed, it doesn't come again and nothing like that. And then natural disaster shouldn't happen. And then may all be happy, free from the pain. And may all become enlightened by developing their compassion and wisdom in their heart. So I will recite a couple stanza. Please join me. Chancho semjo rinpoche make bana giraje kewa nyamba meba kone gundo pewara sho pama semje damje de dan den yurje ngando damje tato tongwa Chancho semba gana sujo ba deda kunye monan rikirachi. Kangri rawe kurwe shingamde penan dewa male chungwen. Chere zawa tenzen jatsoye. Shape side bardo den yurachi. Kyawa diye nyurdo da lama sanje drugirni. Chawa chikyama leba diye sala. Kwe barai sho. Ombadere obane sambadere obane. Thank you. Thank you again to all of you and the JTS and the members of the IMCC for having me here. Thank you so much. Thank you.